Hi folks, Trev here. I'm going to teach you how to write the perfect press release. My press release challenge for you today is to write your press release up in the comments section, and I will outline or I will explain to you any errors in your press release. I have over 15 years experience writing up press releases. I've been in national papers, local papers, the front page of papers, TV, media, radio, and so on. So I have an idea or a few tips to help you write the perfect press release to get into the media, into newspapers, and so and so on. The first thing to remember is who, where, what, when, and why. So if you do nothing else in your press release, whether you're doing a product launch or an event launch, if you can remember the five W's: who, where, what, when, why, you're on to the right start. The second point, which is probably more important than the first, is statistics. Papers and journalists love statistics, and I believe that this is why I get a lot more press than others by using statistics. The bigger the statistics, the bigger the statistic, or even the smaller the statistic, the better. And I'll explain to you why. Let's say you're running a company and your sales are €10 in January, €20 in February, €30 in March, all the way up to €1,200 in December. So if you were to say that sales are up €10 between November to December, that's not very big. But if you were to say that sales are up 1100%, or even a whopping 1100%, or a staggering 1100% in your press release for the year, that would stand out a lot more. And equally, if you're trying to get onto the other side of it and your sales, let's say, have dropped from 1200 down to €10, well, that's not very good. But if the sales have dropped from January to February, let's say from 1200 to 1100, that's only a drop of €10 out of 1200. So that's not too bad. But just make sure you use the bigger statistics, or where relevant, the smaller statistics, and use, as I said, words like staggering or whopping, 500% or whatever the figures are. And what I used to do is I used to look through for the bigger stats as well. So I'd go back through a year or 2 years, and wherever the bigger statistics were, I'd use those ones. You only need 3 to 4 paragraphs at most. Any more is too much. Like, this is all, it's not, there's no silver lining here, but I don't think you can, if you can't fit all the information you need to describe in your press release in 3 or 4 paragraphs, well then you're probably doing something wrong. Put it on a plate for the reporter. So if a reporter or a person in the media gets two press releases on the exact same topics, and one press release doesn't really fill in the blanks for them, but the second press release, let's say they could almost copy and paste that into their newspaper or into the TV show or wherever it may be, which press release do you think they're going to use? And let me know in the comments section. Press release 1, which has no information, or press release 2, which has all the information they need. There's another question there, which is how to end the press release. And that is probably the most difficult part of this whole subject. You need to go to your keyboard, get one of your fingers, and write in or type out ENDS, ends. That's the most difficult part of this whole process, is writing ends when you finish your press release. That's a joke, I'm being sarcastic, but that's how you end your press release, just by typing in ends. Obviously, put in your contact information as well. If you're emailing it out to a few people, make sure you use the blank carbon copy BCC. You don't want to be emailing this out to 10 or 20 or hundreds of reporters, and then they all get each other's email addresses, and then there's data protection issues and all that go along with it. So I would also keep your list to a minimal as well. So if it's a local news story, don't waste your time sending it out to national newspapers. And equally, if it's a national news story, don't waste your time sending it out to local newspapers as well, if you only want to go to the national media. And if it's for TV, only send it to TV stations, and so on. So there are a few points. But back to my initial point, which is our question: if you want me to check your press release or to go through it, copy and paste it into the comments below, and I'd be happy to look through it and let you know if I see any issues with it. And there's a few links in the description as well. And if you have a moment, I'd be grateful if you would subscribe. Thank you, and have a nice day.